Hi, welcome to Ivy's Kosher Kitchen. Yada, yada, yada. You know the drill. I thought we were doing a run-through rehearsal. I'm sorry. You know, well, it's Ivy's Kosher Kitchen. Hi, how are you? I'm Avi. Let's say l'chaim first off. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagefen. Oh, maybe I had too many of those or not enough today. I don't know. At any rate, we are cooking outdoors. We are grilling. I've got a great meat fest for you here, courtesy of our good friends over at KOL Foods. We have some fantastic kebabs that we're going to make. We're going to do some flat iron steak, and all with this great KOL Foods, no antibiotics, no growth hormones, so on and so forth. Let's get going. Now, I've got my gas grill fired up here. It's on about a medium heat. It's letting everything get going there. We're going to start with a kebab. I use these nice metal skewers. I was going to say spears. No, they're a skewer. Why do I use a metal skewer? I like it because the metal itself heats up and it cooks a little bit from the inside as well as from the outside because of the heat of the skewer. Also, you don't have to go through the hassle of soaking these bamboo skewers and everything else like that. You know, this is just nice, easy breezy. I always start with a nice onion or a pepper on the bottom, something like that. Now I'm using some beef. This is from a shoulder steak. You want to use good meat here. If you use this stew meat that normally needs to be cooked for a long time to get flavorful or to get soft, why are you doing that on something on the grill that's going to cook on a short period of time? Unless you're really, you know, going to cook it long, and most people don't. Okay, so I'm using a nice shoulder steak. Okay, have a nice pepper, and we're going to do some lamb. This is from a lamb shoulder chop. Okay, the lamb shoulder chop is nice because it's got a nice fat to meat ratio as far as I'm concerned, where there's fat around it that drips in there, but the meat is still nice and lean. You're not eating a lot of junk, especially with this kind of food. Okay, so I'm just alternating here: onion, meat, pepper, mushroom. I got some nice these grape tomatoes on here. I love the tomatoes on it because it puts a nice juicy type of spin on it. The nice thing about this is, besides this being simple, this is a good thing if you've got some I don't want to say older kids, but kids that are, you know, 10, 11 years old. This is a great way to get them involved and get them cooking. That is, as long as they don't use them as spears and swords. Okay, so I've got one. I've got a bunch more that we made over here. Okay, what I'm going to do is season this up real simple. I've got my special Avi's rub here. You can see the fancy labeling that I've put into this. Really thought out, and I've designed it, and well, we just took a pen and scratched it in there. So that's so that my wife didn't throw it out, you know, and say, what's this junk? It looks like nothing. Okay, you've got brown sugar. I've got salt, just some kosher salt. I've got some granulated garlic in here, and I've got some turmeric. Turmeric, great spice, really healthy for you. A lot of benefits. I just sprinkle right on here. It just adheres to it. Spin it around. Get all sides covered. I find this just a really nice seasoning, and the turmeric, something about turmeric on it, on the meat, and particularly on a chicken or poultry too, really brings things out. By the way, you could do this with poultry, you could do this with anything like that, but like I said, you want a good quality meat. Okay, on the grill, now I'm putting these on my low side of the grill. In other words, I've got hot side, low side. I want to put them on the low side so that the vegetables have a chance to kind of get going and not burn. The other thing I like about these skewers, by the way, is they've got these nice little round deals here, so you can get your tongue on it and turn it very easily, as opposed to some of the others. Make sure you put these out. Okay, that goes on, lid closed, they're gonna go, this goes aside. Now we have got something else for you. I've got a flat iron steak. Now a flat iron steak is a really interesting cut of meat. This flat iron steak here, you can see how nicely marbled that is. Really beautiful. This is really one of the most tenderest pieces of meat off of the cow. And with the marbling, it really gives a great flavor structure to it. I love it. And what you do when you're done, you'll see, we're going to slice it up, and this is telling you this in a bread like a steak sandwich, wow, you are really, really happy, okay? So for this piece, my Avi's rub, right on it, same thing. Same thing on this side. That's it, right on the grill. All right, that's on. Now, I told you we're doing it 2 ways, so I've got this baby, same piece of meat, oh, different piece, but the same cut. You know, you got what I was. Anyway, this one is been marinating in a special marinade, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Now, flat iron steak, cook on a flat iron pan, why not, you know? Let's do it. So I'm going to take this pan, get it up, nice high heat, okay? A little bit of olive oil on here, just so that we don't have any stickiness to it, okay? That's going to just get nice and going, okay? Now, this piece I'm going to put here. What I do is basically marinate in a Ziploc bag. It stays in here half hour, an hour. You can do it overnight if you want to. That's fine. That's great, okay? So that's going to go here. Now let me show you the marinade. The way I do the marinade, take a jar. This happens to be an empty honey jar. You could use those fancy pickling jars, the mason jars, the ball jars, whatever it is, you know. That's fine. Something with a good seal, a lid with a good seal on it, okay? I take it. I'm going to take olive oil, about yay much olive oil. I like it. It keeps things loose, keeps everything wonderful. Little balsamic vinegar. Not too much of this, okay? We're not making a salad dressing. Just a little bit like that. The vinegar, the thing I like about the vinegar is it helps to kind of break down the fibers in the meat and stuff like that. It just kind of gives a nice softness to us. Now, we're not adding any salt because I'm adding some tamari sauce. This is a nice organic, low sodium tamari. In fact, pull the top off of that. That's good. So we don't need any salt. Now, a hint of roasted sesame oil. This is a really lovely Asian spice. As soon as I take the lid off, you could smell that. It's really, really nice. It's going to give us a bit of an Asian feel to this steak, which is good because sliced up, like I said, on a bread. You can even put it on a salad. You're really talking good stuff, okay? So a little bit of maple syrup. This is, of course, pure maple syrup. Gives you a nice little flavor profile in it with the sweetness, plus it glazes up really well. The only other thing I want to add is I want to take 2 basil leaves that I have, just kind of roll them up, chop them up, and throw those basil leaves in there, okay? That's an optional thing. I happen to like it, you know. If you want to add a couple other little things to it, you could. I take it. Now, the reason I like the jar, besides now it's ready to store, is I get my workout in, I get to dancing. Well, you know, that's enough of that. At any rate, but it mixes really well, really easy, and I haven't dirtied anything, which both my wife and I love. And let me take a smell. Oh yeah, we're happening with that. That's good. Okay, but that's basically how I make the marinade. Here is it in the bag. We're going to take it out. My pan is nice and hot now. Just gonna make sure that oil's on it. You can see it's smoking. Now we take this dripping in the marinade and, whoa, yeah. This marinade is history. Do not use it. It had raw meat soaking in this thing. You don't want that. That we throw out, it's gone, okay? So this is going to just sear. It's going to just sear on there, okay? So while we're searing that, let's check out what's happening in the barbecue. Okay, I think we're ready to kind of flip these over. Just give them a little turn. And yeah, we're starting to get a little bit of action on that. The vegetables coming up nice. Now this flat iron, doing really, really good. Flip that, nice grill marks. Now, tongs. Tongs are your friends at the grill. Tongs are your friend everywhere. I see these people with these big forks, double prong forks with built-in thermometers, and they look like they're some kind of rock superstar out there. I'm gonna take my meat. They become, you know, you go from an accountant during the day to, you know, Conan the Barbarian at night with that big fork out on your grill, and you're ruining your meat. You're piercing it. The blood is coming out. The juice is coming out. You don't want that. Be a man. Use the tongs. Okay. Speaking of which, let's see how we're doing. Oh, nice sear going on here. You see this marinade? We do the marinade. It starts to glaze and caramelize right on there. So you're getting really, really beautiful kind of sear going on that, okay? And I've got that on a fairly high heat. Now, if you want to, in this pan, throw a little bit of onion, throw a little bit of shallots or something like that. You could do that. It goes great on that, okay? Now, we're not going to cook the steak all the way through here. Now, one quick note. Now, the meat from KOL Foods, because it's 100% pasture raised and 100% from start to finish grass-fed, it will cook quicker. So you can't go by a cooking time. I can feel that it's still nice and soft in the middle, okay? What I'm going to do, because I've got a good glaze on this now, is I'm going to take this, turn my burner off. We're going to open our grill. Look at this piece, almost done to perfection, okay? This piece, I'm going to actually turn up the heat now, because I was on fairly low. That's just going to get a nice sear on the bottom. This guy is going to go right in here. Move these over. Look at this. Now, close that. There we go. Okay, so that's good there. Now let me show you our next thing. What I'm doing next is this baby. This is a shoulder steak, okay? Now a shoulder steak, at least this one from KOL Foods, really, really, really lean. You can see that there's nice little bits of marbling and stuff in here. You've got this vein here. This is the same meat as when you go in for a good roast beef. You know, you have that big roast beef sandwich, you have a silver tip roast, which is the prime roast beef cut, okay? And they take it in the butcher and they slice it for you real thin at the deli or whatever, and you go, oh, roast beef sandwich, this is the best meat in the world. This is the same cut. It's usually a very difficult piece to cook because it's usually fairly lean. This is lean, but it's nicely marbled. And that's the one thing, 100% grass-fed beef is usually a little bit tougher. This from KOL Foods, I'm telling you, it's like butter, I'm telling you. We made this at Kosher Fest, and I'm going to make it exactly the same way as we did at Kosher Fest, and it was phenomenal. Phenomenal. So just take a little bit of kosher salt up high, boom. Same with this side, kosher salt up high. Just get it on there, boom. Cracked black pepper on that side, cracked black pepper on this side. Put it in there. That is my seasoning. Nothing more, nothing less. That's my seasoning, okay? I'm gonna let that sit for 1 second because I want to take some of this off now. I'm gonna tell you right now that this guy and this guy are done. Okay, so we're gonna put that right there just so it can rest a little bit. No heat on here, okay? These guys, I'm just gonna bring them over to the hotter side of the grill now to get them going a little bit more. Get a little more heat action on that, okay? And I'm gonna put that down there. Now here's a quick trick for you. I'm gonna put my raw meat back here, take my knife, I don't like that here, take my cutting board, flip it over. Now I got a clean side, okay? So now that I flipped it over, I can take this meat right here because we want to let it rest. That is my grilled, this is my marinated. Now, I'm going to take this steak while this is resting because I want it to rest off the heat. I'm going to take this steak, it's going to go on the grill. Bam, bam, on the sides, okay? Clear a spot right in my hottest area of the grill, okay? Here's my steak. There we go, on. Crank this up a little bit. Perfect, okay? Don't be afraid to adjust the temperature on your grill because that's what's going to give you the ability to sear and then gently cook the rest of it, okay? When you go too hot on the grill, A lot of times your steaks, you know, they burn on the outside and the inside's raw, you know, and everybody's complaining, it's raw, what are you doing? Gotta have a little bit of technique to it, and sometimes that involves adjusting the temperature, moving from the hot part to the not so hot part. Okay, so these are resting, that's cooking. I'm going to check back on this in about, we're going to give it about 2 minutes. We're going to flip it over, give it another 2 minutes. We're going to take that off. By then the kebabs should be ready, and we're going to take a look at everything done in about like that much time. That much. Right now. So let's go over to the grill. We're going to take our steak off. Oh yeah, that looks perfect. Okay, put that there. Now let me show you what the first thing I do with this piece of meat is I take a little bit of my maple syrup right on top. Okay, I know, but I want to do this when it's nice and hot. You could rub it in with your hands or with a spoon or something. My hands are clean. I've been cleaning them. Let that sit. These have been resting. Let that sit. Now our kebabs are ready. Okay, I'm going to take them off. Got nice big plate for this. Look at these babies. And by the way, when you serve these, okay, you want to serve them, you can serve them one or two ways. You can serve them right on the skewer, which is a nice presentation, but remember, these skewers are hot, baby. These are very, very hot skewers, and you can burn yourself or your guests can burn themselves, okay? And you don't necessarily want that to happen. So we're going to kind of put these here, let that sit. Anything that spills off, which they will, right on the grill, that's still good eating. Put that over there. Okay, now let's take a look here at these guys. They've rested. Now when you cut the flat iron steak, you want to cut at an angle. You want your knife not to be straight up and down like so. You want it to just go nice at an angle. That gives you a thicker cut. Okay, exposes a little bit more of the meat surface. Really, really good and very, very important. Easy to do, just like this. Okay, when you're cutting at the angle, it's wonderful stuff. Here we go. See, this cooks up. This is a nice medium piece, but it's still juicy. Okay, these guys, this is still juicy. Put those right on here. Okay, put these right underneath. Prop that up. Okay, and then you can also look at this one. So this is a little bit less done. We went really quick on it, remember that. But if you've ever sliced meat, you would feel how easy this is to slice. Just nice. So here we've got our marinated in our Asian marinade, flat iron steak. And here we've got our grilled with our Avi's rub, okay? And very nice, we'll put a couple little tomatoes in between here. Now for me, I love to serve this on a baguette, you know, just one of those nice fresh multi-grain baguettes or something like that, a ciabatta bread, put in there with a little lettuce, tomatoes, some grilled shallots or onions or something like that. Oh, what a sandwich, that's phenomenal. The other thing that's good with this is a salad, you know, particularly with the flat iron steak, it's got that marinade, it's kind of a little Asian flavor on it. Put that on a salad on a, you know, Shabbat afternoon or something, you know. I don't know about you, but for me, summertime, it's hot, 80, 90 degrees outside, something like that. I don't want to come home with a big, heavy chulad full of hot. I want something nice, light, easy breezy, salad, nice flat iron steak sliced right on top of it. Oh, baby, that's really, really good eating. Nice glass of wine, maybe a cold beer. I'm happy, and you know, and sit down, and you know what happens when you sit down after that? Sleeping. But that's what Shabbat afternoon's all about. By the way, also really, really, really good, you know, just during the weekend, it's great for a sandwich for leftovers. Let me just see if well, you know, yeah, right. No, that's what I'm talking about there. Now let's look over here at our shoulder steak. Take this, now, again, cut it right here, right along here, and look at this. This is just nicely slicing. This is a little bit of a different flavor structure. This cut is, like I said, less marbled, but a leaner piece. And I'm going to tell you, this is really, really, really nice. Gonna We were at Kosher Fest doing this, and people were lining up saying, I got to try some of that KOL Foods meat. Let me see. Yeah, that's good. And it's a totally different type of flavor with that maple syrup and the salt and the pepper on it than you have with the flat iron. Okay, so we're just going to take that, put this like this, right on this plate here. Look at that. Beautiful. Throw another couple of tomatoes on there if you want. Something red on the plate. That's it. And now, of course, this shoulder steak, nicely seasoned, salt, pepper, that maple syrup just right at the end of it, just putting a little sweetness to contrast all. I love this cut. It's nice, it's lean, it's flavorful, really, really good. And all this meat, as they say in Israel, a la aish, right on the fire. Man, you can't beat it. It's just the best, whether it's for a Sunday afternoon, a Lag BaOmer, 4th of July, whatever it is, you know, this is just for me. I love this type of stuff. So now what about the kebabs, you might ask? Well, they are here. Let me show you how we take care of this, okay? I've got my plate. Let's just wipe this board down just a little bit so we don't have so much schmutz. Now, you could serve these kebabs just like this. Here's why I don't like to do that. I've got young kids. This becomes a weapon of a weapon of sibling destruction, if you follow me, okay? So I don't like to serve it this way. So what I do is I take it and just we slide these off right onto here, just like that. Very simple. You could do 2 kebabs a person, and boom, there you go. It gets all mixed up. The flavors get mixed up in there, and you're really good. You put this with a little side of rice or something like that. In fact, if you want to just put one whole one on there or something like that, you can. That's just a beautiful thing, if you ask me. So we have this just great meat fest barbecue that I love. It's great for, like I said, Lag BaOmer, 4th of July, whatever you want. You just Sunday afternoon, you know. I'm saying this is great. You know, anything. So we've got our flat iron steaks. Look at this, very beautiful. This is on the grill with my seasoning. This is marinated, cooked right on the flat iron itself, okay? Great in a sandwich. This is our shoulder steak. Also, a little salt, pepper seasoning. That's it. Very, very simple on the seasoning. Little maple syrup right over the top just to sink in there right when you're done, though. You don't do this until then, otherwise it's gonna burn up, okay? Also, great in a salad, great in the summertime. And our kebabs, this is off the skewer, and the kebab right here on the skewer, loaded with all this wonderful meat and vegetables, onions, peppers, lamb, beef, the whole 9 yards. I'm telling you, this is just something that I love, and you throw this with some rice or some fresh greens and, like I said, a nice salad. You are really, really happening. People are gonna love you, and I'm telling you, your wife is gonna love you, because all the mess was out here on the patio, you know, on the deck, out by the grill, nothing in the kitchen, nothing in the house, and when it's all said and done, what's your cleanup? A little bit of this, serve it on some paper plates, you know, what the heck. At any rate, so I wish you good health, good eating. By the way, let me give you my wine pairing with this. Beautiful Cabernet Sauvignon Merlot from Spring River. Wonderful Israeli wine, courtesy of our friends at Harkin Spirits. Really goes great with the outdoor barbecue because it's got enough body to stand up to the meat, but enough sweetness and the fruitiness in the Merlot grape that really just complements the whole outdoors and the relaxed setting you're in. So, you know, this is just one of my favorites. So, on behalf of everybody here at Avi's Kosher Kitchen, l'chaim.